Hi again, everyone. My name is Chelsea. I'm a librarian here at Brock University and also a yoga instructor, bringing you some library yoga as your unconventional study break today. So the theme for today's class is going to be finding some lightness, some brightness, and some joy in some mindful movement today. Often when we're doing our research, as we might be doing if we were in person in the library, things can start to feel really heavy. It can be a lot to really be working through your research, but it's important to remember that research is a process of discovery, and it can be kind of playful, and that's what we're going to be embodying through today's yoga class as well. So to get going, we'll start standing today on our mats. So you can play around with your balance a little bit at first, shift your weight back and forth on your feet, maybe a little from side to side. Try to find a nice middle ground, so you're not leaning forwards or back, you're not leaning more to one side than the other, you're finding a nice middle spot. We'll stand up nice and tall here, we'll take the shoulders back, and to start getting into some of this looser territory, this lighter feeling, we'll start by trying to release as much tension as possible. So we'll start by squeezing the muscles in your legs, really engage your legs, squeeze your hands into fists, squeeze your arms, squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. You can scrunch up your face in a really ridiculous kind of way here. Take a deep breath in, and with an exhale, let it all go, drop it all away. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze everything nice and tight, screw up your face. You can look as ridiculous as you want here. This is about being playful. And let it go. 1 more time, squeeze everything up nice and tight, as tense as you can. And we're gonna let it all go. 1, 2, 3. We'll drop it all, take the shoulders back. Gently relax the hands down towards the floor. You can close your eyes here for a moment. And just check in with yourself physically here. Get curious, notice how your body feels. Perhaps you've already released a bit of tension. Maybe you've giggled a little bit already. That's good, that's a good start. Notice how your breath is moving, if it's fast or slow, deep or shallow. And notice how your mind is moving. If your thoughts are racing around, maybe it's a little quiet. There's no judgment either way. Just observe your body, your breath, and your mind. And then bring your attention back to your breath. We'll take 3 deep belly breaths here. With an inhale, drawing the breath down into the belly. And exhale, we'll sigh it out. 2 more times. Inhale deep into the belly. You can place a hand or both hands on your belly if that helps you focus. And exhale with a sigh. 1 more time. We'll inhale. And exhale with a sigh. Gently opening the eyes. And we'll go ahead and get moving. So with our theme, we're going to start by trying to loosen the body as much as possible, letting go of as much tension as possible. We'll start by doing some neck rolls that will move down all the way down through the body. So we'll start by dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder, gently rolling the head through the center. We're not trying to force it down here, just gently rocking it over towards the left. And back towards the right. Awesome. Now we'll involve the shoulders. So we'll round it forwards, including the shoulders here, through the midline, over to the left, and back towards the right, including the shoulders. So we're rounding through the upper back here, extending this gentle stretch through the neck, the upper back, and the shoulders. Now we'll take it a little bit deeper. So we'll roll into the middle of the back, progressing towards a forward fold here, opening up through the side. Try to keep your arms nice and soft, and we'll rock it back over towards the other side. You can get a little goofy with this if you want. You can think of yourself as like a library zombie. We'll take it a little deeper. We'll make it through the lower back, Take it back over towards the right. Really trying to melt the body through the movement here. And now we'll take it as deep as we can. So bend your knees here. Really try to be loose through the movement. Move towards the right and down. Maybe your fingertips brush the floor. Again, bending your knees. Rolling up to the side. And we'll take it back. All the way down. Over towards the right and rolling it up. And maybe shaking everything out. Extra nice and loose. Awesome. From here, take a few shoulder rolls. We'll inhale, taking the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, taking them down. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. And we'll gently reverse. Just do a few of them in the opposite direction here. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. Maybe noticing if there are any crunchy spots here, any areas you can consciously loosen. Great. We'll bring the fingertips to the shoulders now and start to circle the elbows here, making the movements a little bit bigger, maybe a little more fluid. You can even bend your knees to get into this. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. We're getting playful today. We'll switch the direction. This might take some conscious thought. It's taking some conscious thought for me. We'll take the shoulders back, up, and down. You can include the knees if you like here. You can, as I've said in a few previous classes, you can totally improvise and do the funky chicken here. It's what my friend calls this pose, and it's totally stuck. So feel free to play around. This doesn't need to be totally serious here. Just loosen up however suits you here. And then we'll extend the arms out nice and wide. We'll take up as much space as we can here. So if you're in a tiny space, maybe be conscious of not hitting anything next to you. If you're practicing with maybe a roommate, a housemate, maybe you can give each other a high five from a distance. Really try to take up the space, trying not to be destructive in the process, but really extend nice and long. Feel that stretch across the tops of your arms. Lift your chest here. You can spread out your feet a little bit wider. Feel like a star. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, we'll fold it forwards. Take a nice deep breath into the back body here. And exhaling, we'll roll it up. Kind of like a zombie, like we were doing before. The shoulders roll up before the head lifts. Awesome. All right. From here, we're going to get a little more playful. We're going to take the arms nice and wide, and we're going to start to gently spin from side to side. You can get really loose with the arms here. Allow them just to fling out to the sides. And I like to imagine myself being a little bit like a little kid here. So imagine a little kid just skipping around, tossing all of your cares to the wind, just getting nice and loose through the spine, through the arms, the shoulders. And if you're familiar with any yoga YouTubers out there, I'll recommend Yoga with Adriene as a really good person to follow. And I know she's really fond of this particular move here. We'll take just a couple more and we'll start to slow the motion down here. Slowing it down. And then we'll pause, taking one hand across the body to the outer hip. So I've got my left hand on my right hip. Circling that right hand around either to the lower back or to the outside of the left hip. Lift your chest and twist, leading with your belly button over to the side. So we took our dynamic twist as we were spinning around, and now we're moving it into a static twist, and you can feel your core engaging here. Take one more inhale, and on the exhale, gently unwind, and we'll twist the other way. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, leading from the belly button, twisting towards the left, maybe taking the gaze back behind you. Take an inhale, and exhale, we'll unwind. Awesome. You can shake it out a little bit, however suits you best. We'll take the hands behind us, loosely interlaced here. Take the shoulders back, and maybe start to reach those hands away from you, opening up the chest a little bit more here. And your hands don't have to come that far. It might be just a few inches away from your back. Maybe it comes quite far away. We don't need to be forcing ourselves into any really uncomfortable kind of pose here. Really, the pose should feel the same for everybody. It might just look a little different. And it's really the feeling that matters here. So open up the chest. On your next exhale, take your hands down and reach your knuckles down towards the ground, opening up across the shoulders here. It's a really good counter for all of the hunching we might be doing at our desks these days. And gently release the hands, shake it out one more time. And now we'll move our way into the lower body, get the rest of us moving. We've been very dynamic, very loose with the upper body so far. It's time to get down into the lower body. So as we started the practice today, we were shifting the weight back and forth on our feet. We're going to take that a little bit further now. We're going to rock up onto the balls of the feet and back onto the heels. And you might penguin walk a little bit here, but that's a part of the fun. That's a part of the playful process here. So inhale, you want to come up on the toes, and exhale, rock it back. See if you can catch your balance. Inhale, maybe add the arms, reach up, and exhale, reach it back. Continue a few of these, waking up the whole body, really experimenting. See what your balance is like today. Play around. It's a process of discovery. And now we'll come up onto the toes, hold it here for a moment, get as tall as you possibly can. And lowering the heels down with an exhale, circle the arms nice and wide. We'll come into a forward fold. Bend the knees here as much as you need to. Pedal out the knees a little bit so you can bend one knee a lot and try to straighten the other a bit. And maybe switch, going back and forth, loosening up. And then back in a nice central position. We'll roll the way up. Like a zombie, the shoulders roll back before the head lifts. And we'll continue this upward rolling motion by carrying the right knee up. So we're trying to balance on that left foot. And this is where having a chair, a piece of furniture, a wall might be of some assistance to you because balance really shifts from day to day. We're going to start to draw some circles with that knee here. So they don't need to be huge circles, whatever range of motion suits you today, feels good for you today. Opening up that hip joint, we'll switch directions. And maybe see if you're using a piece of furniture, can you lift your hand just for a moment, just see. And we'll lower that foot, shake out the legs, and we'll switch sides. So we'll lift that left knee up this time. And start to draw some circles in one direction. Maybe your hip pops a little bit. And then we'll switch directions, testing the balance, opening up the hips a little bit. Often they get really tight when we're sitting in chairs all the time. Continue to breathe. We'll take one more circle. And we'll lower it down, shake out the legs a little bit. Awesome. And we'll make our way towards the top of our mat, or at least making sure we have some space behind us if you don't have a mat that you're practicing with today. So with this space in front of you, with an inhale, we're going to reach up nice and tall, and exhale, fold it forwards like we did before with our knees as bent as we need them to be. You can pedal out the knees a little bit here, wiggle out the hips a little bit here. And then pause, we'll fold maybe a little bit deeper. Inhale, lift up halfway. So you want to bring your hands either to your shins, maybe your thighs, lengthening your spine as much as you can, stretching out that back. And exhale, we'll fold it forwards again. Now with an inhale, we'll sweep the arms forwards. We'll come all the way up, reach up nice and tall, maybe lift up onto the toes. And exhale, circle the arms all the way around. Awesome. Let's do that again. With an inhale, we'll reach on up, maybe lifting up onto the toes, getting playful with it here. And exhale, we'll fold it forwards, bending the knees as much as you need to. With an inhale, we'll lift up halfway, lengthening the spine, lifting the corners of the mouth. Just tricked you all into smiling there. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, maybe lifting up onto the toes. And exhale, circle the arms around. Awesome, let's build onto this a little bit. So with an inhale, rising onto the toes, lift on up, and exhale, fold it forwards. Inhale, we'll lift up halfway, and exhale, we'll fold. As we inhale now, we'll try to lift that right knee up with us. So you can use your hands to support your knee here. You can hold onto a piece of furniture. And if that knee really isn't coming up today, you can keep your toes on the ground. Just try to be nice and light on that right foot. From here, try to catch your balance. Maybe if you're not holding onto your leg, you can reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Test your balance here, play around with it. Find a spot in front of you that's not moving. It'll be your new best friend. And maybe you can open that leg out to the side a little bit. You can always hold on to your knee here, open an arm out for balance. Breathe. Notice how your mind becomes more still, the better your balance here. This is great for increasing concentration, refreshing your focus in the middle of the day. And from here, we'll bring that knee back to center. We won't lower the foot just yet, but we'll lower that knee and catch hold of the foot behind us. So we're coming into a quad stretch here. So in this quad stretch, you want to think about tucking your tailbone under, lengthening your thigh down towards the ground. This might be quite a bit of a stretch for you right now. If you would like to test out your balance a little bit more, we'll reach that left hand up towards the ceiling and start to tip forwards a little bit here. You can kick your foot into your hand, coming into a variation of dancer pose. So this is a quad stretch. This tests the balance, tests the focus. And imagine that you're very light through your torso. There's a lot of strength going on here through the lower body, but a lot of lightness and ease through the upper body. Take one more inhale wherever you are. And on the exhale, we'll come on up and release. Shake it out a little bit. Awesome job. We're gonna go ahead and do that on the other side. So we'll come back. I know I moved around a little bit. You may have as well. We'll come back to where we have space behind us. With an inhale, we'll reach on up, maybe lifting up onto the toes, feeling that lightness, that brightness, and exhale, we'll lower it down. Inhale, we'll lift up halfway, lengthening the spine. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, we'll sweep it on up, trying to lift that left knee up with us as we come on up. So again, you can use your hands to guide your knee. You can keep your toes on the floor here. Or maybe you can hold that knee on up. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Feel really nice and buoyant through the upper body, strong and rooted through the lower body. Maybe you can open that knee out to the side. You can always hold on to that knee, maybe hold on to a piece of furniture here. Again, feeling that brightness through the body. Take another deep breath in. Looking at that spot in front of you that's not moving. We'll go ahead, bring that knee back to center, and we'll try to catch hold of that foot to come into our quad stretch here. In this quad stretch, tuck the tailbone under, draw the knee down, find your balance. Maybe you reach on up. Maybe we tilt it forwards, kicking that foot into the hand, into a variation of dancer pose. Again, find that playful energy. See what you can do here. It's okay to play around. You can lose your balance. You can lose track of exactly what's going on, but that's a part of the process. And it's the same with anything else we might be doing in the library. Any form of research. It's almost like a form of play. You have to experiment with what you're doing to really find what you're looking for. We'll take a nice deep breath in, come on up, and exhale. We'll lower it down, shake it out a little bit. Awesome job. That's quite challenging, so I'm really impressed. Everybody's been really great keeping up with that today. We'll come into one more standing posture before we make our way down towards the ground, and this is tree pose. So we've done a lot of movement, lifting up the upper body, feeling nice and buoyant. We've been opening up the hips, all leading to tree pose. So we'll start by finding that nice solid ground under our feet. You can shift your weight forwards and back, side to side as we have been. And then find a nice stable position on your left foot. We'll bring the right foot either to the left ankle, the left calf, or maybe the left thigh. We just don't want it on the knee because we don't want to push that knee sideways. That's not really how it's meant to bend. In this position, wherever your foot is, you want to extend that thigh nice and long and away from you. So you're feeling another quad stretch here. We'll bring our hands to center. Maybe hold on to a furniture if you need it. And with an inhale, we'll reach on up, opening the branches of our tree. Feeling nice and light and buoyant through the upper body. Strong, stable, rooted through the lower body. And just breathing here. Breathing in all of this positive energy today. And exhaling anything we don't need anymore. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, we'll circle it down, shake it out a little bit, and we'll do the other side. So again, find that nice stable posture. Root down through the right foot. Maybe bring the left foot to the right ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Just not on the knee. We'll bring those hands to center. And with an inhale, maybe we'll reach on up, open up the branches of our tree. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Finding that balance. And not just the literal balance, but the balance between that strength and steadiness that we experience in this posture and this brightness, this levity that we have in this posture. It's important to have both. And that's a really good metaphor for what we should have through life. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, we'll let it all go. I'll shake it out a little bit. And we'll make our way either to the ground or to a seated position in a chair. So I'll help us get there. With an inhale, we'll reach up nice and tall, lifting up onto the toes, maybe one more time, feeling that brightness, and exhale, we'll fold it forwards. Inhale, we'll lift up halfway, and then exhaling, you'll either make your way to a seat in a chair, or you'll plant your hands and either walk your hands forwards or walk your feet backwards to come into a tabletop position. Awesome. From here, we'll sink back onto the heels, walk the hands forwards, coming into child's pose, or if you're seated on a chair, you'll set your feet a little bit further in front of you, folding forwards over your legs, maybe holding on to the backs of your legs or holding on to the backs of your arms, just taking an opportunity to really relax the back body here. If you're down in child's pose, if your forehead isn't coming towards the floor, if this isn't totally comfortable for you, maybe make a fist with one hand or two, and you can rest your forehead down on that. Or because we're all practicing at home today, if you have any pillows or cushions, you can gather them in front of you and just rest your body on top of those as well. Wherever you are, take a nice deep breath into your back body. Our lungs expand into our backs. Often when we're stressed, we're feeling the weight of the world. Our breathing becomes a little more constrained. It becomes a little more shallow. So here, let's bring that lightness that we've been cultivating through this practice all the way into our back body. So inhale, feel those back ribs expand, and exhale, feel them sink down. 2 more times like that. Inhale, feel the back body expand and lift, and exhale, sink it down. 1 more time. Inhale, and exhale. We'll slowly roll our way up to a seated posture, either in our chair or on the floor. If you're on the floor, we'll swing our legs in front of us and we'll roll down onto our backs. We're gonna do a quick figure 4 stretch here. So I'll show you on the floor and I'll show you seated. It can be done in both postures. We'll start by crossing the right ankle across the left thigh. You wanna flex that right foot nice and strong. And if you're on the floor, think about pressing your knee away from you. You don't need to press with your hand. You can just think about pressing with the muscles in your legs, your knee away from you. If you'd like a little bit more, you can lift your left foot off the ground and maybe interlace your hands around your left thigh or maybe your left shin, whatever feels best for you. If you're seated on a chair, you'll go ahead and cross that right ankle across the left thigh, sit up nice and tall. You'll already probably start to feel it. And then maybe you just shift a little forwards, leaning forwards from the hips, keeping the spine nice and long, reaching the chest forwards. Whichever position, you'll feel the stretch in the same place. So even if you're on the floor, you can do this throughout the day while you're seated at your desk too. Take one more breath wherever you are, and gently we'll release and uncross, coming to the other side. So we'll cross that left ankle across the right thigh, extend that knee away from you. Maybe if you're on the floor, you bring that right foot up off the ground, catching behind the right leg, stretching out that hip joint just a little more. This is also great for releasing tension in the lower back. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll let it go. And we'll make our way into our closing posture, Shavasana. So you can either join me lying flat on the floor, extending your legs out to the sides, your arms out to the sides, or if you'd rather remain seated in a chair, totally fine too. Wherever you are, I'll ask that you close your eyes for a moment and just check in with yourself. Notice how your body feels. Notice if there are any areas of tension or tightness. Notice if there's a new sense of buoyancy. Notice how your breath is moving. If it's fast or slow. If it's deep or shallow. And if you can still feel it extending in all 4 directions, including into the back body. Then bring your attention to how your mind is moving. Notice if your thoughts are racing, if they're a little quiet, and maybe what directions they're running in. And as you notice, don't follow them. Bring your mind back to your breath. Acknowledge the thoughts, but then move back to your breath and consciously breathe deep down into your belly, extending your inhales and sighing it out on your exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale nice and deep. And exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. If you're on the floor, we'll slowly bring some movement back to the fingers and toes. And keeping the eyes closed, we'll press our way up to a seated position, however feels best to you, maybe rolling onto one side first. And pressing your way up, keeping the eyes closed. With an inhale, we'll bring the hands to center. And exhale, gently bow the chin forwards in gratitude for giving ourselves this time today. And for the opportunity you've given yourself to play around a little bit. have some fun, find some lightness and brightness. I hope you can carry this with you through your day. We'll slowly lower the hands. We'll lift the corners of the mouth as we lift the head. We'll open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today for Library Yoga. I hope you've enjoyed today's practice, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next time.